What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you a deck profile of something I call Fairy Tale Burn. It's a mix of using Fairy Tale Snow and the new Rachka with a chain burn like burn engine. It's very degenerate. I do not recommend it if you want to keep your friends. Played it over the last weekend. Couple of tournaments over the last weekend. Did pretty decent with it. Of course, it didn't come without its bit of distaste for the deck, and you'll see why as we get into it, as any burn deck may. But I felt like playing something a little bit different and degenerate, and I felt really disgusted with myself afterwards. But let's get right into it. First, we have our fairy tales. We have Luna, really cool card. Searches for another fairy tale, or a spellcaster with 1858 attack. It also has a quick effect that you can target a monster your opponent controls. Your opponent can either send a monster from their deck or extra deck to the grave to negate the effect. Otherwise, bounce her and that monster back to the hand. So pretty cool. Then we have Fairy Tale Rachka, the new card. I believe I'm saying that right. Interesting effect: when it's normal summon, you can make your opponent gain 500 life. Your opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your deck and chooses one of those cards to put into your hand. The rest get back shuffled back. The second effect doesn't come up much, but if it battles before at the start of the damage step, you can send her to the grave. So basically ends that battle, that specific battle. So pretty neat. Manually, you're using it to dig as another duality, essentially. Downside being that your opponent picks a card, but at the same time, it really kind of can play mind games with them. Then we have 2 Sendayan, the Time Lord. So it's supposed to be Mikayan. Mikayan halves life points. This one only does 2,000, but this does have kind of a advantage over it in the fact that it has 4,000 attack, so it's a Dragoon out, so you literally can just summon it, attack over. If the Dragoon's only at 3k, they still take that 1,000 plus the 2,000 from the burn effect, so pretty neat there. Moving on to the spells, one of the most hated cards in the game, 3 Mystic Mine. It's a burn deck. Nowadays you have to play it, controls the pace of the game, lets you keep drawing into your burn. Not much else to say about it. Then we have 3 Pot of Extrav, because we don't really care about extra deck, we just want to draw cards, get into our burn engine. We have 2 Pot of Duality, same thing, don't really care about the special summoning, just want to be able to dig for cards. Then we have Dimensional Fissure. Neat interaction with this and Fairy Tale Luna. So if you have this out, use her effect to bounce. They can't send the monster to the grave because of Dimensional Fissure means they can't negate the effect, so forces the bounce. Fairy Tale Tales. I was playing this at 3, hated seeing it too often. It's a very niche card. It's great if you're going first. Lets you reveal a spellcaster with a different name basically than what you have on the field, and normal summoner set it. So basically you can just go Luna, summon, search Rachka, reveal Rachka, normal summon it, use her effect. Then you can do an Exceed play or Link play if you wanted to, if that's what you're going for. Other effect is first time you would have taken damage involving a battle with one of them, you would take no damage. That doesn't really come up. We have Chain Strike, because this is again based similarly around Chain Burn. It's there for extra burn. And Cauldron of the Old Man, just as another clock for your opponent to be set on, especially with mine. It sometimes makes them decide whether they want to destroy this or mine first. Obviously, usually they go for mine first, but yeah. Then we get into our big trap lineup, and we got 3 Reckless Greed, just to add more draw power to the deck. It makes you skip your next 2 draw phases. Doesn't stack if you play multiple in the same chain, so if you play all 3, you still only skip 2 draw phases, so on and so forth. Still really powerful draw card, just not that well in anything else other than something like this. We have 3 Threatening Roar. Of course, we need to stall out. Don't want to lose to the battle phase. So, yeah, that's chainable. So, that's why I played it over Thunder Ruler, really. I like the idea of being able to chain it when I want to, or in response to other cards, rather than being forced to do it in standby phase. Then we have 3 Secret Barrel. Of course, just standard burn. 3 Just Desserts. Not as powerful as I would want it to be now, but still gets in there at times. Then, of course, we have 2 Trap Trick. I was playing 3, cut it down to 2. Would probably bump it back up, depending. But otherwise, most of your traps are normal traps. So, of course, you can use Trap Trick with that. And we have Waking the Dragon, stupid card. Went off a bit over the weekend. A couple times, wins me games. You know how it is. Secret Blast, another burn card. What's cool about that is that if it's destroyed, they take 1,000. They take 300 for. Otherwise, they take 300 for every card they control. Sadly, not what's in their hand. Otherwise, it'd be a way better Secret Barrel. And we have our one-ofs, Macrocosmos, same idea as D-Fissure, but also can shut down a lot of decks. Blazing Mirror Force, just another burn card. Never really got to use it, so I don't know if it's necessary. Ring of Destruction, really cute. I'd probably bump this up to 2. And Metaverse, of course, because we want to get our mine out. Something I would have considered playing over maybe a couple of the cards. Probably Demise of the Land just to get to the Mystic Mine quicker. Otherwise, it's fairly consistent. Didn't really have too many problems, only a couple times where I didn't draw that well. Then we'll get into the side deck. We got 2 Nib for them combo decks. 2 Phantasme. It's similar ideas for combo, obviously, but also to potentially draw, dig deeper for other things. I played 2 Spooky Dogwoods. Pretty interesting, kind of like a Maxi challenge, is you chain it to something that is going to special summon. You're guaranteed to gain some life. Otherwise, they have to choose if they want to keep going or not. Its second effect of you take half, you lose half your life if they don't special summon. Irrelevant, because you should be chaining it to something that's going to special summon anyway. Example, Quick Launch. Then we have 2 Godarla to out any problem cards like Dragoon and so forth. It doesn't really hurt you that much, but anyway. Cosmic Cyclone, just in case your opponent's playing floodgates that do hurt you, i.e. Decree. Decree being the biggest one. Otherwise, it's good for the Eldritch matchup, because Eldritch is kind of a tough deck for this to play against. And we have Harpy's Feather Duster, same thing. 3 Solemn, because we hate Red Reboot, and we have Red Reboot ourselves. But also for anything that could blow us out, that if we don't have enough to stop it, this is what's going to win. Of course, you don't want to side these if you're getting close to time, which this deck does often. Of course, it being a Mystic Mine deck. Then, for last but not least, we have our extra deck that really doesn't matter too much. It's more Waking Dragon targets and then Banish for extra. Some things do come up in terms of like our rank 4s, but not often. We have 3 Ultimate Falcon, Zeus. We have 2 Dugaris. Dugaris being one of the only other ones that come up in terms of actually summoning it off your Fairy Tales. Generally, you're going to go for the extra draws. Then we have Downard. Both of our Fairy Tales are spellcasters, so you can make that. Babuska, kind of cute. Can shut people down for future and similar to mine. I actually had somebody scoop because they didn't have any ways to out it. They thought I was just going to outpace them, so it happens. Redoer. Cute thing with Redoer is I was able to get out in the field and just keep taking my opponent's cards. It's a double-edged sword kind of there. Is A, you're preventing them from quickly drawing into their outsteer mine and stuff. B, you're thinning their deck to potentially get them to their outs quick. It's just for fun. We have Mega Clops. So that's another Waking target. Phoenix, Cerberus. You can make these. You rarely ever will. I never did. Again, just there for extra deck for extra. Last Warrior from Another Planet. Another Waking Dragon, and Caliga. Was supposed to be a third, but then I kept it in anyway, because it'd be fun to pop out if 1 and 2 with Waking, but these are your 2 main Wakings. Maybe him. You can make these, if you ever do rank 4, it's generally going to be Dugaris or Baguska, sometimes Redoer. Only time I made Redoer was because it was only rank 4 left after I extraved. Otherwise, that's all it is. Just a Degenerate deck. Please don't hate me for playing this. I know my friends weren't too happy about me playing it. I felt dirty about it. But sometimes, you just gotta play Degenerate decks just to pass the time. Do have another one in mind that I'm going to mess around with. Not something I would ever consistently play at locals, because these aren't the kinds of decks I feel like you should be playing at locals. Now for big events, pretty big brain meta call. Otherwise, that's all I got for you guys. Once again, thanks for watching.